Hello and welcome to evaluation question 1. This one is about in what ways does your media product use, develop or challenge forms and conventions of real media products. So this one's going to be separated into three. So the first part will be the actual music video. The next section will be based on the first ancillary text, which will be Digipack. And the third part to this video will be on the second ancillary text, which is magazine ad. If you want to skip straight to the Digipack, you can click here on the screen and it will take you to that part of the video. And also for the second ancillary text, you can click here and it will take you to that part of the video where I'll be talking about magazine ads. So I'm just going to go through the general conventions of a music video. Music videos are split into three different categories and they fall under the Goodwin theory. So the first one's narrative, which is basically where the music video is based on a story and it's usually based on the lyrics from the song. The next one is performance, where it's just the band or artist playing to the camera. So for example lip syncing, playing instruments or dancing. So it's basically just performing to the audience. And the last one is concept, which is basically completely random. It's thought up by the directors of the music video, so it could be just dancing, it could be a cartoon character playing, or it could be just completely anything, to be honest. You know, it could be someone just walking down a street for the whole time, or for example with Depeche Mode's Enjoy the Silence, it's just the lead singer going around the world and dressed up as a king, so it's kind of random. So some other conventions of typical music video would include lip syncing, male and female gaze, for example, lots of fast-paced editing, lots of dancing. More commonly in pop genre, there's dancing and backup dancers behind the main singer or the artist or whatever. In the alternative rock genre, lots of the music videos are edited to the beat of the song. So if there's a diegetic intro and then at the beginning of the song it's a really loud bang or something, you know, drum beat or something, it'll cut to that. Also, if you look at Nights of Sidonia by Muse, there's a bit where the protagonist is riding a horse, and the rhythm of the song and the rhythm of the bass line links to that. It's kind of like a horse galloping, and the actual bass line is kind of representative of a horse running or galloping. Sorry. There's also lots of bright lighting in the pop genre specifically. So, for example, with the Lady Gaga song, I think it's Paparazzi, something like that. There's lots of bright lighting because it's seen as glamorous in the industry. Whilst if you look at a typical heavy metal music video, for example, Metallica's One, it's very low lighting. So they kind of contradict each other. There's multiple locations used in music videos as well as tracking shots, handheld shots, and lots of special effects used in music videos, as well as linear and non-linear editing. There are sometimes diegetic intros and also wide shot variation. Right, now I'll talk about the genre-specific conventions of music video. So for Muse's typical music video, there's lots of sci-fi influenced clips and aspects in the music video. So for example with Supermassive Black Hole, obviously the title kind of is sci-fi, but there's lots of influences in that actual music video. I'll just play a clip now. But if you look, it is quite heavily edited music videos. There's lots of special effects used. There's also lots of shots of the whole band, but the frontman Matt Bellamy is focused quite heavily, but it's not as much as other alternative rock bands, where they just pretty much solely focus on the frontman or woman. So, for example, with Paramore, the main focus in pretty much every music video is on the front woman. But with Muse, the frontman is obviously highlighted and focused on, but they always include the whole band in the music videos. And typical of a Muse music video would be a narrative and performance music video. They also use lots of multiple locations in their music videos as well. Now, I'm just going to go on to how our music video met those conventions. So, for the sci-fi influence part of the music video, obviously we've got Mass Effect footage being played towards the beginning of the music video. Now, the reason for this is obviously because the game is set in space, and then that obviously links to the genre, as well as Sing for Absolution, which is another Muse song, sorry. And the music video for that is pretty much, well, is set in space, and the costumes and mise-en-scene in that music video link to the characters and the costumes and the mise-en-scene in Mass Effect, so that links to that. Now, our music video is performance and narrative based, so again that links to the typical conventions of the genre. The shots of the band playing, as well as focusing on the frontman, and there's shots of the band's instruments, which is very typical of the genre. There's a wide range of locations in our music video. So, for example, we've got the forest scene. We've got the throwing stones in the river. We've got the actual performance location, and we've also got, for example, the school scene. And one of the last points is that it relates to the lyrics. Now, going to talk about digipacks. So, typical conventions of digipacks are the artist name, the album title. They include stickers on the front. Usually big bold colours, so they stand out from the original, because obviously they've got the standard dual case disc, but with digipack they want it to stand out, so they put big stickers on it highlighting that it's limited edition. You can get extra songs or a DVD or something, so it drags the audience in, and they obviously want to fork out a bit more to get these special parts in the digipack. If you look on the back, there's usually a barcode, or now more recently QR codes, obviously becoming more popular in social networking, and there's always small print on the back, so just explaining like the copyright holders, and it's very typical. Well, it has been for years, since dual cases. It's on dual cases as well, but now it's on digipack as well. There's the band and the record label website links, and usually the logo of the band or the record label as well, usually on the back, but they're on there as well. The front and back covers link together, so for example it could be a certain colour scheme that's continuous on both the front and the back. They can be very colourful outside, and then on the inside it can just be black and white colour. There's a track list on the back generally, not a very detailed one though, because usually inside you get a little leaflet that has the composer, the producer and everything for each song maybe, and also the timings of each song, which are usually in a leaflet that's on the inside of the digipack. There's always a catalogue number on the spine, so on the spine you get the album name and the artist name, and then at the opposite side of the spine you'd get the catalogue number. So the conventions we used on our digipack were, we used stickers, we used artist name and the album title. We highlighted that it was a special edition, so for example we highlighted the 10-year special anniversary special edition digipack. We used QR codes and we used barcodes, so we're keeping up with the new media. The front and the back relate to each other, so for example we've got Mass Effect screenshots on the front and the back, but on the back we have the character in the music video, so the protagonist in the music video is on the back, whilst on the front it's the actual game avatar which he's playing, so they link. We've got track listing on the back, which is very typical. We've also got small print on the back, and we've got Facebook and Twitter links, and we've even got our production company logo. So this finally moves me on to magazine ad. So magazine ads typically have the artist name, the album title, tour dates, which are heavily used in magazine ads. And the reason for this is because obviously nowadays with downloading and torrenting and stuff, artists are not getting the majority of their money from the actual album sales, they're getting it from tour dates. So that's why magazine ads always include, well, pretty much always use tour dates nowadays, because they get most of the revenue from tour dates. They have the release date. Sometimes it can just be numbers, but quite often it's either like out now, in stores now, or even just a date, for example. They use QR codes, so if you see it in a magazine you can quickly just get your smartphone out and just scan it and get links to the website and the band URL and everything like that. So that's basically the conventions of magazine ads. The conventions we use in our magazine ad were the artist name, the album name, the tour dates, which were fairly dominant in the magazine ad. We used a big main image, which was sci-fi influence, so that links to the other two formats. We used release dates. We didn't use numbers though, we used in stores now, which was quite common for the genre that we looked at. We used the production company URL, and we used the images from our digipack, the front and the back from our digipack, so obviously it highlights that that's in stores, and it gives you an idea of what to look out for in stores. So for all of the different formats in our coursework, we do generally use the typical conventions of that specific format. So for music videos, we tend to go with the typical format for a Muse music video because we know they're so successful and they're very unique. So with that, we kind of thought it would be suitable to go with typical conventions and not really challenge them all that much, or just develop them in our own way. And the same goes for magazine ad and digipack, which are the two ancillary texts. We thought that the conventions were so solid and reasonable that there wasn't much point to challenge them too much, because otherwise you'd be going into dangerous territory and, for example, it not even working because the conventions weren't there. So that was the reasoning for why we went with the typical conventions on pretty much all of the formats that we use.